How's it going, Top Forest TV? My name is Jack and welcome to my preview for the Barnsley game taking place at the City Ground tomorrow night. Well, might be tonight depending on when this video gets uploaded. So yeah, obviously it is a postponed fixture from the start of the year. It would have been our first game of the season, but with COVID and injuries and one thing and another, the game did get postponed until, well, tomorrow or today, like I say, depending when it's recorded, the 25th of January. So yeah, Barnsley not doing very well at all. Without a win in 10 games ago was their last win against Derby, a 2-1 win against Derby. So, I don't know why we're getting so excited about beating Derby. They're not that hard. They could lose to the worst team in the league. But no, it should be one that we win without any problems. In the past, this has been one that is typical Nottingham Forest, the worst team in the league, on the worst form in probably England, come to us and beat us. Like you see, like Charlton did it a couple of years ago. Sunderland did it that season when they went down. It always seems to be the case of, a rubbish team. But one of the worst performing teams in the league come to the City Ground and they seem to get a win, a 1-0 win or something like that. I'm confident though. I'm really, really confident. I think this should be a fairly routine win. I'm going to go with I want to say 3-0 Forest, but I think that might be a little bit too much. I'm going to go 2-0 Forest. I think it's going to be a comfortable 2-0 win. I think it'll be one where we'll be in control from the first to the last. I think it should be a fairly routine victory. I'm hoping to see maybe a Keenan Davis get on the score sheet for the first time. I think he deserves it. He works so hard, and I think to see him get on the score sheet will be just deserves really for what he's been doing at the club over the last few weeks. He might not be the guy getting the goals, but he works so hard, and as a reward for that, I think he deserves the goal. So I'd love to see him get on the score sheet. I think it would be great to see. But yeah, I think it's going to be a very similar lineup, if not the same, to the Derby game. Maybe one or two slight changes, potentially, maybe giving some fresh legs in the midfield, maybe bringing in a Ojeda or a Cafu, for example, or, sorry about that, or maybe, switching up Zinkernagel into the starting 11 rather than putting him on off the bench. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it pans out. I do, like I say, expect it to be a fairly decent result for Forest. Obviously, the last time Barnsley won a game in any competition was a 5-4 thriller against Barrow in the third round of the FA Cup. So it should be one that we deal with quite easily. But again, in the past, it's been the kind of game that we sort of slump to a loss in, that we don't really, what would the word be, that we don't really expect. But yeah, I think under the new regime of Cooper, the new way of thinking and the new sort of vibe around the squad, that it should be a comfortable win in this one. I do kind of feel sorry a little bit for Barnsley, just in the fact that they did so well last season, and then, West Brom come and take their manager, their star midfielder in Alex Mowat. We take the CEO, and then Dal DK goes to America. 3 or 4 of the big components that got them to do so well last season. We're really benefiting off Murphy. He's been a real breath of fresh air, and the link that he's got going on with Cooper and the powers that be above him. He's really getting his plan executed well. What he wants to happen is happening, and that's great to see. When the CEO, the manager, and the powers that be above him are really in tandem, it shows that the club is going in the right direction. It shows that they all know what they want to do and how to get there, and it's just about making sure they play their part. And it's fantastic to see, that really is, because over the past couple of years we've had a owner who's tried to dictate to the manager who to play and when to play them. We've not really had a CEO I don't think anyone's really known too much about them, or if they've heard anything about them, it's not the best news. We've had sort of backroom staff going up to players and saying that, you can go, we don't want you at the club anymore, tomorrow you're gone. that sort of thing, and to see the club running this way and the way it is, all in tandem and all sort of like a really fine-tuned machine, well-oiled machine, it is really great to see. It's really, really great to see. But yeah, I do kind of feel a little bit sorry for Barnsley because they have had their complete core ripped out from them. You know, they sacked their manager at the start of the season. They weren't great in the return fixture, or the reverse fixture, I'd say. This is the return fixture. They weren't very good at all, really. They took the lead. It was Crawley Woodrow, and then Cooper really put his stamp on the game and really showed why Forest fans love him so much. The first real taste of Steve Cooper in a winning way. I think it might have been his second game, and the first game was a 1-1 draw at home to Millwall. You know, so yeah, really good 3-1 victory in that one. Brilliant play, I think. Was it Zinkernagel, Graben and Johnson getting on the score sheet for that one? But yeah, like I say, I think it'll be a 2-0 win for us. I'd love to see Davis get on the score sheet, and then somebody else. Maybe Max Lowe, I think. It was really good to see him against Derby. You know, he came in a huge game. His first game back from being out for a couple of months, and he shone. You know, he was really good. You wouldn't have expected him to have been out. You know, if no one had told you, you'd have just thought he'd played week in, week out, and he was absolutely fine. You know, no lack of match sharpness, no lack of fitness. Played the full game and had the same intensity from minute 1 to minute 90. You know, he was running the whole game. Focus, concentration was switched on. You know, sometimes you can get a bit leggy, a bit tired mentally after not playing for so long, a bit jaded, but he didn't show that at all. He was really fit, and really just going the whole game. So a goal on this one, it will be much deserved for that. But again, I always give my little prediction of who I think is going to score. I don't really care, you know. I don't really care as long as the ball ends up in the back of the net and it's a Forest goal. That's all I'm really bothered about. You know, if Samba could get a hat trick for all I care, you know, I'm not really too bothered unless, you know, it's like a player who's struggling with form and a goal would really help them. You know, that's when I'll probably really hope for someone to score. But I don't really mind who scores as long as we get the goals. That's all that really matters. But yeah, in terms of my starting 11, I'll probably go Samba in goal, back 5 of Spence, Lowe. It'll probably have to be Cook, Yates and McKenna. Scott McKenna, I saw a video of his highlights against Derby. My word, he's so good. Like, you know, lots of Forest fans rave about Spence, rave about, you know, Graben, rave about Yates and Worrell and Colback and players like that. And rightly so, you know. Rightly so. Fully deserve that, but Scott McKenna sometimes goes a bit under the radar, and I mentioned this in 1 or 2 videos before. I think it's just because he's come in and he's been at this level the whole time. Like, he's not really dropped, and he's not really, you know, been at a position where fans are like, oh, he wasn't too great then, and then he picks up and they're like, oh, he's made a real improvement, he's so good for us now. He's just been solidly good and not putting a foot wrong the whole time he's been here. I don't think he missed an aerial duel. He won every single header that he went up for against Derby. He's so good. And I don't know why he gets so much stick from Scotland fans, because he's so consistent and so reliable for us. You know, it's fantastic to see. But yeah, I don't know where the criticism comes from Scotland fans. But yeah, thoroughly just delighted with the way that he's playing. He's brilliant. Midfield 2 for me. I think one of them might be rested. I'm going to go. I don't know, actually. I was going to say I think one of them might be rested, but then I don't know whether. I'm going to go with Ajada and Garner. I think Colback might be rested for this one. Ajada and Garner, front 3 of. For me, I'm going to go with Zinkernagel, Davis, and Johnson, with Graben to come off the bench. For Davis. So yeah. Like I say, should be a comfortable sort of a 2-0 win in this one. Should be run-of-the-mill sort of stuff, one that we plough through them, if you will, and then move on to Cardiff at the weekend. So yeah, let us know down below what you think, who you think is going to start, what you think the score is going to be, how you think it's going to pan out. Like if you have enjoyed this video, subscribe if you are new to Talk Forest TV and you haven't already, and come on, you Reds.